Hi guys. Okay, we're gonna start our album now. Yay! So we are going to need two pieces that are 9 1/4 by 10 1/4. Okay, so you need two pieces that size, and then you're gonna take one of the scraps from that you cut off from one of the 12 by 12 chipboard pieces. That is going to measure at 2 5/8 by 9 1/4. Okay, so that's going to be your spine. Okay, and then we'll make a hinge to fit on top of that. Then you're going to need to cover our book. You're going to need, or to cover our chipboard, you are going to need a piece that is 4 by 12. Okay, that is going to be in the middle part. Okay, and then you're going to need two pieces that are 12 by 12. Okay, and these pieces are going to have two 3 1/4 inch tapes on the end of each one, okay, that are facing each other. All right, this 4 by 12 piece is going to go in the middle of that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and place that right there in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay that right there, and then I think I am going to go ahead and use glue. Okay, sometimes I don't for this part, but I think for this time I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and smudge that on there. And I want to make sure that I get the end really good there. Right. And I'm just going to go ahead and place this on here just like this, making sure that I'm at the edge there and at the edge of the tape as well. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and burnish that down. Alrighty, and go ahead and grab a little, and I just want to flip that over, make sure that that is good to go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take these off here. Okay, and again, I'm just going to add some glue to this. Okay, and I just want to make sure I get the corners really good, and the edges, I want to make sure I get the edges really good on there. Okay, so go ahead and grab this piece, and again, I'm just going to go ahead, make sure that I'm at the edge of that tape there. Okay, whoops. Making sure that I'm good. Right on that tape. Okay. Just like that. All right. Okay, so now I'm good to go. Okay, so now we can lay down our boards, or we can go ahead and place our boards on here. So you are going to have this piece that is 9 1/4 by 10 1/4. I want you to lay your 10 1/4 inch piece sideways. Okay, so I'm going to open this up just a little bit more so y'all can see. Okay, just like that. So we're going to lay this sideways. We are also going to leave about 1 inch, and an inch, or if you want, you can leave about 1 1/4 inches on this side. Okay, so you should have about 1 inch. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and lay my spine right on top of this piece right here. Okay, I want to make sure it's right in the middle. All right, and it's about right in the middle right there. Okay, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I'm just going to mark a line here in here. And I should have about an inch from the top and the bottom, and I do. Okay, so now that we have this piece in the middle, what I want to do is grab my ruler again, okay, and we're going to mark 1/4 of an inch on here, okay, on our paper. So because that's where we're going to lay our chipboard, our long chipboard, okay, for our book. We're going to lay it down. This is going to be our gap for our book, okay, that we're going to be making. So you're going to go ahead and grab your pencil and mark it at 1/4 of an inch, okay. And I usually do like I'm going to do a long tick mark so y'all can see it. And I'm going to come in just a bit. I don't know if you guys can see it. And I'll go down a little bit. There we go. So there is my 1/4 of an inch tick mark right there. Okay, and that's where I'm going to lay my chipboard right there. Okay, so, and it's going to have the 10 1/4 inch is going to be laying, it's going to be laying horizontal. Okay, same thing here. So here, I'm going to grab my ruler and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay it down on here, and I'm going to grab the where it's at 1/4 of an inch, and I'm just going to go ahead and make that tick mark. Okay, I know, again, you know, this is how I've been doing the 1/4 of an inch gap in between my albums for a while now, and I actually really like it more than the 1/8 of an inch. I just feel like it closes better and I have more room. So, you know, if you haven't tried it, try it out and see if you like it. You know, you might be surprised. You might like it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my other piece of chipboard, and I'm going to lay that right there where that tick mark is. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and I'm going to make my tick marks on either side. I want to make sure that they're all even. So I'm going to bring my ruler up, okay, and this is how I gauge how my chipboard's going to lay on my book. All right, I'll go ahead and bring my ruler in, make sure all my pieces are laying against my ruler, so that way I know it's even straight across, okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab my pencil, and I'm going to zoom back out for you guys. Okay, I'm going to grab my pencil and I'm going to, I don't know if I can get both sides here. There we go. I'm going to grab my pencil and I'm going to mark here and here. Okay, on that corner, I'm going to mark here and here, here and here. Okay, here. And I'm just marking where I'm going to lay my chipboard down, because I find that doing that, it's going to be really easy. So when I remove my tape on my chipboard, everything's going to be laying right where I made my little tick marks, okay? So now we can go ahead and lay the tape on the back of our chipboard. So basically you just grab your chipboard and you can go ahead and place your tape down on it. So I'm going to do all of my chipboard, okay? And then I will be right back and we will lay down our chipboard where we made our little marks and make our book, cover our book. I'm going to go ahead and lay my tape on all of my chipboard, okay, the back of all my chipboard, and then I'll be right back and we'll finish covering our book. Okay guys, I'm back. So I went ahead and placed tape on the back of all my chipboard, and now I'm ready to lay my chipboard down. So I'm going to go ahead and place this right on the middle part where we laid all of our, did all of our little tick marks and everything. And so I'm just going to lay, stuck to my fingers. So I'm just going to lay this right in the middle part of that. Okay. Just like this. Whoops. And I just want to make sure that it's straight. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and burnish that in real good. Again, I apologize for any coughing or anything, or my voice going in and out. It's just due to my cold. So okay, so there is that. Alrighty. And again, you can just turn that over and you can burnish that down. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my ruler again, okay, because I want to make sure that I'm still at 1/4 inch for my laying down my next piece here. And it looks like I went over just a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase the tick mark here and this one here, okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and make a new tick mark here. Okay, so there is that. So next I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay this down, okay. And I'm going to grab my ruler because I want to make sure that it's even with that, okay. So I just go ahead and I lay my ruler up against my chipboard as I'm laying this down. All right, just to make sure that it's straight, okay. All right, and then I just walk my fingers up and let these fingers go. And there we go. Okay, so there is that. All right, and then here I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and lay this up against my chipboard. Grab my next piece of chipboard, and again, we are laying the 10 1/4 inch long ways, okay? So we're laying it horizontally. I'm going to grab this, right, and I just want to make sure that I'm straight. And I'm just going to lay this right there, right on that line that I had. Okay, make sure I'm right on there. And there we go. Now all the lines may not add up. See, so some of my little tick marks I'm not straight on, and that is okay. Don't worry about that, okay? Because, you know, we moved them to put the tape on, and everything is okay, you know. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. It will be fine. So next, I'm just going to go ahead and burnish the back of this really good, okay? So now we are ready to go ahead and fold over our sides. So the next thing I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and grab your foam folder, okay? And we are going to go ahead and just go along the edge of our chipboard, okay? And you're just trying to break up those fibers so they can fold over your chipboard nice and neat, okay? So that's what you're going to do here, all right? So you're just going to grab your bone folder and go right up against that, okay? And then you're going to do the same thing all the way around, okay? All the way around your chipboard. Alrighty. So I went ahead and got my nails done, you guys. I took off the long nails and I just couldn't do anything with those anymore. And it was hard for me to pick up my papers and my little items that I needed to get done, my projects. So next you're just going to go ahead and you're going to grab your paper and start folding that over. Grab a bone folder or your little scraper and just run that right along the edge of your paper there. Okay, right along the edge of your board. Okay, just like that. And same thing with this one here. Okay, and I want you to kind of indent this a little bit. Okay, so you can definitely kind of fold that over a little bit. Then you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to go ahead and grab your bone folder. You would just do the same thing. Just go right up against that. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and turn this around. And you're going to do the same thing here. Okay. Just going to grab that. And I picked pink this time for my nails because you guys know I love pink, and I am so ready for spring, y'all. I'm so ready for spring. Really, really am. So, okay, we are almost there. So you're going to go ahead and do the top of here. Okay, bringing that over. All right, just like that. Okay, then next what I want you to do is see where we folded our little paper. You have like a little box right there, right? So let's see if I can get that to, so right here you have a line here and a line here. So what I want you to do is I want you to grab your scissors and you're just going to kind of go in a little bit where that line that we made when we brought up our paper, okay, where we folded our paper in, and you're just going to kind of bevel that in a little bit. Same thing down here, okay, and you're just going to go just like that. Then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing here, and you're going to meet right in the middle of that little X area. Okay, just like that. So you're going to have this little piece like that, okay? And those are going to be, that's how you're going to cut that. Now, if you do yours the other way, then, you know, just do it however you do it. I know some people don't need to have a guide. They just automatically cut that, and that's awesome. So yeah, you just do that however you want. But if you're new, this is how I do mine. There are tons of videos out there that show you how to cut the edging of that off. And there's lots of different ways you can do that. So you can use the way that is best for you. Okay? So that's how you're going to cut those off. All right, so now we're ready to go ahead and apply our tape and our glue to our flags. Okay, so, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just place the tape right along the edge here, okay? So I'm just placing it along the edge, and I'm using my 3/8 inch tape, okay? You want to make sure that you get the air bubbles out as well, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and take that tape, cut that right there. I'm going to go ahead and do that up here. So now you can go ahead and you can really burnish all of that in. Okay, the next thing that I like to do is I like to go ahead and I'm going to put glue on and around my edges here. So I go ahead and take my glue, okay? Now if you're not using glue, you can go ahead and what you're going to do is go ahead and put your tape along the top portions and around your chipboard. So if you're not using glue, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and just take your tape and put that along the top of your chipboard here, okay? And I apologize for the loss of words tonight, you guys. I think it's my cold. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my tape on that one there. And I'm going to actually add glue right in through there, okay? Right up on top of there. And I'm just kind of squiggling it on there. I'm not doing a heavy dose. I'm actually just kind of bringing all of that over to, pushing it together. So, okay. So next I'm going to go ahead and grab my paper and I'm going to just fold that down. Okay, just like that. Just like that. Okay. And I'm going to grab my little wet nap here. And you're just going to go ahead and burnish that down. Okay, just like that. All right, and then you can do the bottom part, and then we'll bring in the sides. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just putting glue all over on top of the tape and below the tape, okay? And I'm just bringing this in here, okay, just like that. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and burnish that down, just like that, okay? And then same thing here. I'm going to go ahead and take my tape off here and take the tape off on the other side here. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish those in, or put the glue on there, okay, and bring those in just like that, okay? So there is that part right there. Okay, and then here we're going to do the same thing here. All right, put some glue on there. And then we're just going to fold that over just like that. And there we go. So we are done with that part. Okay. And you just want to make sure that you burnish all of your little flaps in. Make sure everything is really good and burnished down. Okay. And then the next thing you're going to do is grab your bone folder and you're just going to go right in between that area right here. Okay. Where our book is going to fold. All right. And you want to just go ahead and bring that in just like that. Okay. Just bring that in. just like this. Okay, just like that. Okay, and go ahead and fold that over. And there is our book. So we are done covering that. So that turned out really nice. Yeah, I like that. So there is our album. So we are almost, okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we are going to go ahead and I'm going to burnish this in some more. I can tell it needs to be burnished in a little bit more. But now we're going to go ahead and we are going to cover the inside. Okay, guys, I'm back. So now you're going to need 2 pieces that are 9 by 12. And I've already put tape on the back of my paper. And we are just going to put those right in the middle of our book right here. So one's going to go here. And then the other one, I think I'll put this one down first. And then, so it will look like that. Okay, so that is how those 2 are going to go on. So first we're going to go ahead and stick on this side here. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and take off the back of my tape. Then I am going to go ahead and add some glue to this. And I'm just going to add glue around the edges here. Okay, I'm not adding a lot of glue, just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of lines here in the middle part. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and place this right on, and I'm leaving probably about a 1/4 of an inch or so, maybe 1/8 of an inch, something like that on there. Just want to make sure I'm leaving a good amount of space here and that it's even around my book. Alrighty, okay, so there we go. So I apologize for for some reason I am not able to see. I don't know what's going on with my eyes here. So I'll go ahead and pop my glasses back on here. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead. I want to make sure I didn't get any glue on there. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and pop on the other one here. And there we go. So, yay! So it's on there. That's good. Alrighty. Okay, so now you can go ahead and we can burnish this in. Okay. And just go ahead and burnish that in there just like that. Alrighty. And I'm just making sure that I got my edges really good here, that they're nice and glued down. Okay, so sometimes I always forget about my edges, or I don't put enough glue on there or something. So, all right, so now you're going to go ahead and grab your bone folder and just, okay, and just kind of wiggle that through your little area there, right in your seam. Okay, so, and I just go back and forth a few times through that. Okay, And now we can go ahead and lift it up a little bit. Okay, just like that. Okay, just like that. All right. And then you want to go ahead and do the other one the same way. Okay. And because I'm doing more than, I'm doing a 1/4 inch rather than the 1/8 inch. Okay. You have a little bit more of a gap there. So I go ahead and I just kind of do that whole area. Okay. And you really want to get, you don't want to press too hard, but you want to get enough in there, okay, especially down in through here, because we have kind of like double papers. We doubled up on a few papers there, so you want to make sure that you're getting that little bit in there, okay? All right, okay, now you can go ahead and you can lift up a little bit on your book, okay, just like that. All right, and there we go. So there is our album. So we have covered it and it's all good to go. And now we're going to go ahead and we are going to do the hinge, okay? And then we're going to place the hinge inside, and then we're going to start making our pages. So, okay, so, all right, I'll be right back and we'll do our hinge. Hi guys. Okay, we are ready to start our hinge. And for that, you are going to need, and I've already made a couple of lines, but that's because I thought the camera was on and it wasn't. So you're going to need a piece of paper that is 8 7/8 by 11 with the 11-inch side across the top of your scoreboard, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to start at 2, okay? So you're going to start at 2, and you're going to do 2.5, 3, 3.5, and it's going to be a 1/2 inch all the way till you get to 8.5. So again, so that would be 3.5, and then 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, okay, 6.5, 7, 7.5, okay, 8, and then 8.5. Okay, so once you're done with that, you're done with the scoreboard. Okay, and if you're new, this is how this is an easy way how I remembered how to do a hinge, and so this is something I picked up. It was a little tip from a friend of mine. So to get your hinge pieces, we're going to need 4 because we created 4 pages for this book. Okay, so you're going to start with the first line. Okay, and I'm going to bring it in just a bit so you guys can see a little bit more. There we go, maybe a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so you're going to count from your first score line, okay, right here, and you're going to count over to the third score line. So 1, 2, 3. You're going to put a 1, okay, just like that. So that's a number 1. And then you're going to count over 3 again, starting with the next 1, 2, 3, starting with the next line. So it would be, okay, so then it would be 1, 2, 3, and that would be number 2. So 1, 2, 3, number 2, and then again, you would start with your next score line. So that would be 1, 2, 3, and that would be page number 3. And then 1, 2, 3, and that would be page number 4. So there are your 4 hinges for your pages. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just keep that there for a little bit. All right, so to fold this and to make your hinge, okay, you are going to, I'm going to use my 1/4 inch tape, okay, and I'm going to get out my 3/8 inch tape as well. Okay, so for this, what I want you to do is I want you to grab where you made that number, you are going to go ahead and fold that over, okay, and you can definitely just grab your bone folder, okay, just like that. Then I want you to grab that and I want you to push it down, and those other score lines on either side of that number 1, you are going to fold that over one way, okay, and then fold it over the other way, okay. And of course you can use your bone folder for that if you'd like. All right, so now you have a little hinge right there. Same thing with number 2. You are going to fold that over. Okay, and I'm using my bone folder. It's easier with my hands, but since I have the pencil marks on there, my fingers end up picking up that pencil, and it really it makes it streak. It's ugly. So then I'm going to fold it over one way, right, on the other side of that number 2, and then I'm going to fold it back the other way. Okay, so that's how you're going to do your hinges. So same thing with number 3. I'm going to go ahead, fold it over. Okay, and you can do number 4 at the same time, so that way you got both of them done all at once. Okay, fold it out. Grab number 3, push it down. It's going to make those score lines on either side of that 3 lay flat, right? You're going to fold it over one way. All right. Fold it over back the other way on the other score line. All right. And then same thing with number 4. Grab it, push it down. It makes it form over those score lines. Okay, and that's how you're going to do that. All right. So once you have this part done, you're going to go ahead and flip it over, and now you've got your valleys, because on the other side, I call these our mountains. So on the other side, you've got your valleys. Okay. Now, if you want to use glue, you can, and I've done that before where I've not had any problems using my glue. You just need to be careful because you don't want to put a lot of glue in between here, because it'll make it kind of too pliable, okay, if it gets way too wet. So on here, I'm going to go ahead and use my 3/8 inch tape, okay, and you're going to put that right in where your valley is. You're going to put it up on this or on this one. It doesn't really matter, but you're going to put it right inside of one of those little areas where your valley is. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could put it here, and you want to make sure that you're not on the score line. Okay, and you don't want to pull your tape. Okay, always just place your tape on it. You never want to like pull it, because it will make your paper like it'll bunch it up. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So next, what you're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and cut that off, just like that. Same thing on this next one here. Okay, where your valley is, which is right here. Okay, this is the next valley. You're going to go ahead and place your tape right inside of that valley on one of those empty areas. Okay, the little so you're going to just place your score tape right in between that area. Okay. All right. So then you're going to go ahead, and the easiest way how to do this is, I just thought about this. You just want to count 2 over. So 1, 2, score tape, 1, 2, score tape. Okay. So that's how you can, you know, an easy way to remember where to put your score tape. Okay. So just count over like 2 of those scored panels. All right. So like here's a panel 1, 2, and then you have a third panel right here that you scored. That's in your valley. Go ahead and put your tape there. Okay. And then the next thing you're going to do is, after you get all of your score tape inside of there, I want you to really burnish that score tape down. Okay, you want to make sure that you get all of the air bubbles out of there. All right. Make sure you burnish it down really good. Okay. Alrighty, and then you're going to go ahead and just take that backing off of that tape. Okay. Just like that. Alrighty. And then after you do that, then you're going to go ahead and place those together. So the first, this one, okay, the first hinge, you can go ahead and lay that over just like that, okay? And then bring it back over, okay? So now you've got your second hinge, okay? Just grab it, okay? And bring those together just like that. So you're pulling the one without the tape towards you, okay, is what you're doing. So again, the third valley that has the tape on it, you're bringing the other one close to you. So you're just pushing them together, just like that. All right. The fourth one, same thing. So here's your tape on this one where it's shiny. Bring that other one close up to you. Okay, and now you've got all of your hinges together. So this is where you're going to go ahead and you are going to burnish everything down together. So you're going to go ahead and grab your bone folder and burnish each one down really, really good. Okay. And again, you have your paper is 8 7/8 by 11. All right. And there we go. Okay, and now you can go ahead and just score, and you can just go ahead and score those down. And I go ahead and I push mine over back and forth a few times. It just makes them a little bit more easier. I think it makes them a little bit more pliable, flexible when you put your pages in. So if they're not as stiff. So there you go. So now you have your 4 hinges for your pages. The next thing you're going to do, because you still have this flap here and this flap over here, where those score lines are on the other side of those flaps, go ahead and push those back. And you're going to go ahead and burnish those down. So you're going to push them to the back, okay, just like that. Alrighty. Just like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to place tape on both sides of these flaps, okay? So you place tape on this side and on this side. And you can cover it with your, if you have 2-inch tape, then cover it with your 2-inch tape. If you have, you know, if you have your 3/8 inch tape, you have your 3/8 inch tape, then grab your 3/8 inch tape. Okay, and you're just going to go ahead and cover it to the, you don't want to cover it right on the score line. Okay, you want to cover it to up to the score line. Now you don't have to butt these up close, close, close. You can spread them apart if you want to. So if you want to leave like a 16th inch space between your tape, you can definitely do that. All right. So you're just going to go ahead and put your tape down like this. All right. Again, you don't want to pull. You just want to go ahead and lay that down. Make sure that I kind of burnish down as I'm going, but you know, it's to each their own. You know, whatever you feel like doing. So, and then I'm going to put this here like that. All right. Okay. And then I might go ahead and grab my 14th inch, my 14th inch, my 1/4 inch tape. I don't know. Do they even make a 14th inch tape? So, oh, what am I saying? Oh my goodness. So there we go. So you're just going to go ahead and lay that down like that. All right. And I'm going to burnish that in. Okay, and burnish that in on top of that. And then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and placed my tape on either side. So it's very sticky. So now you can lay your flaps over on each other, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and lay this one. Now you want to make sure, again, that you're staying straight on that, right? So you're just going to fold down where your score line is, okay? And there we go. Okay, so there is that part. Okay, again, you just want to burnish. Now I burnish before I stick down my other piece. Okay, again here, if you hear my dog, I apologize. She wants out of the room, and so I will let her out in just a minute. So, and then she'll be crying because she wants back in. So here is where you're going to go ahead and you are going to lay this next flap on top of that piece. Okay, so there we go. So now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to burnish that down. Alrighty, just like this. Okay. So there you go. So now you have your hinge ready. So the next thing that I like to do, before we finish up is you're going to go ahead and put tape on the back of this part, okay? So you're just going to place your, whatever tape you have, your 2-inch tape, your 1/4-inch tape, your 3/8 inch tape, whatever you have, that's the tape you're going to use right on top of here, okay? So you're going to do that all the way across to the end here, okay? And then before we're done, what I want you to do is I want you to check your ends and make sure you don't have any little stickies. Whoops, I'm out of camera. Sorry, guys. I want you to check your ends before you do anything else, and cut off any little stickies if you have any. Like, see, I have one right there. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and I'm just going to go ahead and just cut that little sticky off. Okay, and that's what you're going to do, just so that way it looks nice when you put it in your book and you don't have any little stickies hanging off the edge of your hinge. Okay, so there is that. So okay, and again, we're not going to take, you're going to go ahead and put your double back tape on your the back of the hinge, but you're not going to take it off yet because we're going to put this on in a bit. Okay, so I will see you in just a minute. Okay, so now we are on to our pages, and for our pages we are going to need 4 pieces that are 9.5 by 10.5. Okay, and then you are going to need 4 pieces that are 9 by 10. So on the 9.5 by 10.5, those are the ones we're going to score, and we're going to set the other ones aside. Okay, now I already made 2 pages here, and they are going to have 2 sides that are opened. So this is the side here that is going to be on the hinge. Okay, and then this piece up here, we are going to add an insert inside of here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set these aside, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make the pages. So for the pages, you are going to go ahead and get your scoreboard. And again, you're just going to set your 9.5 by 10.5 along your scoreboard here. And I'm going to, with the 10.5 along the top of your scoreboard. Okay, so for that, you're going to go ahead and score a 1/2 inch here down the side, okay, of the 10.5. You're going to turn it to the 9.5 side and then go ahead and score another 1/2 inch all the way down. Oops. And you're going to do that on all of those pieces there. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other one just like that. Again, you're going to lay the 10.5 alongside of the score board, score a 1/2 inch all the way down, turn it to the 9.5 side, and score a 1/2 inch all the way down. Okay, and then that is it for those pieces. So next we're going to go ahead and put these together. So for the two that we just scored a 1/2 inch, okay, on the 10.5 and 9.5 inch, you're going to see that little X right there, and you're going to grab your scissors and just cut that off. Okay, and you're going to do that for all 4 of your pieces. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold these in, and I'm just going to burnish those down where the score lines are. All right, and do the other one. Okay. All right, and then you're going to go ahead and grab your 9 by 10 piece, and that is going to sit right on top of here. Now, if you're going to use tape, you can go ahead and use your 1/4 inch tape or your 3-inch tape, whatever you would like. And you're just going to go ahead, and I would put the tape at the fold part, okay, at that edge there where you scored it, and you went ahead and folded that over. Definitely do that there, okay. And then, so I would do that close to the edge where you have that folded piece, where you have folded that over, that score line, okay. And then if you're using your glue, you can definitely just put your glue along the edge there, okay. And that's what I do. I just use my glue. So I'm just going to put my glue right here along this, and I'm going to put it right there in that little what do I want to say, like little pointy part. And then I just go ahead and put my glue alongside of there, and then I go ahead and do the other side as well. Okay, just like that. And I do try to make sure I get that little area covered right there. Okay, and then, you know, if you need to, just go ahead and use your finger to kind of smooth that out if you want to. Then get your 9 by 10 inch piece. And I start at that corner piece first where you clipped that off, okay, that little corner piece. And then I go ahead and just kind of follow along with my finger and make sure that my page is together right there. Just matching the edges of the papers, okay? And same thing here. I just match the edges of the papers, okay? So go ahead and bring that down there just like that, matching the edges up. Okay, just like that. Okay, so there we go. So there is that one put together. Okay, and then for the other one, I'll go ahead and do the same thing. Now, again, if you're going to use tape, just go ahead and you're going to match up the edges. Now, I go ahead sometimes and use my glue with this, and that's only because the glue allows you to be able to kind of slide your paper around. So if you need to kind of make an adjustment or something, you can do that. So that's why I also use glue. So it's a little bit easier to maneuver. So go ahead and place this right on that corner piece again where we had snipped that edge off to make this little fold here. Okay. And I'm just bringing that over, lining up the edges here. Okay. And then lining up these edges down here. Okay, just like that. And then you can go ahead and burnish those in. Okay, and then just make sure that they open up really good. And there you go. So there are all of our pages for our book. So we are done with that part. Now we can go ahead and put the hinge on, and we can start papering our book. And so we can pick out our papers for our covers and for the inside cover from our design paper from Heartfelt Creations paper collection, The Burst of Spring.